Hey, what's up, guys? IAmAMusicNerd here, back with another tier list. Last time I did one on the best rap album Grammy winners, and this time we're going to be doing the best rap song Grammy winners. Before we get into it, if you enjoy the content on this channel, you like the video, hit the like button down below, hit the subscribe button down below. The first song on this list, Eminem's Lose Yourself. I cannot believe that it's already 18 years ago that this song came out, but not only does it have the honor of being the first song to win in this category, but to be the first rap song to win an Oscar for Best Original Song. It's Eminem's most recognizable track. To me, obviously, I think goes in the S tier. It's one of Eminem's most popular songs, one of his best songs, period. What makes the track work is, his intensity and his storytelling ability and the incredible rock instrumental that backs it up. It's a song that pumps you up, it's inspiring, and really showcased the best of Eminem. Really at this time, he could do no wrong, and Lose Yourself was the victory lap for him. I mean, this song was inescapable. Even the movie that came out, 8 Mile, that supported it, was also very popular at the time. So this song was everywhere, and it was a huge success for Eminem. And I think for a lot of people who weren't fans of Eminem, I think this was the song that finally people were like, all right, I give up. This guy's a fucking legend. Kanye West's Jesus Walks. This was the second song to win this category. This came off of College Dropout. And really, I'm going to put this in the S tier. I think it's a phenomenal track. One of my favorite Kanye songs. Really the song that showcased, first of all, the production is absolutely incredible. One of his best produced songs he's ever made, with the gospel chants and the auto-tune. Kanye talking about why religious songs don't get played on the radio, and why songs about God and Jesus, they're labeled as kind of Christian hip-hop. Really coming from that perspective of, hey, I'm going to make a track that's dealing with spirituality and religion, and it's going to be playing the clubs. And that's exactly what this song accomplished. It's a groundbreaking song for not only Kanye, but for hip-hop. To me, it's one of the standout tracks in College Dropout. Changed everything for Kanye. Although it wasn't his most popular song off the album, it has stood the test of time. We got Diamonds from Sierra Leone, so we got another Kanye track. He won this category back-to-back. And, yeah, this was off his late registration album. And I love the way that, of course, Kanye is great at using samples, and using the sample from the Diamonds Are Forever that was off the James Bond movie in the 70s. Everything just comes together. And, of course, Kanye, once again, talking about social issues, really making people aware of the Blood Diamond conflict. And, especially for me, I was not aware that this was happening in Sierra Leone, and Kanye kind of like questioning things about, like, hey, I want to look fly, I want to wear the best jewelry, but where does this really come from? And people from other countries literally put their lives on the line to make the flyest jewelry in America. So it's Kanye battling with that, and I just think it's a fantastic track. I'm gonna put it in the A tier. I think it's a Kanye song that people kind of forget about, because he's made so many great songs. But Ludacris's Moneymaker, which came off of the release Therapy. Now, of course, I talked about in the Best Rap Album tier list video that I made, release Therapy, depending on if you ask some fans, may be Ludacris's best or worst album. For me, the album never quite worked for me. I never really bought it until the Ludacris being serious. This song was Luda kind of going back to, not quite going back to his old persona, but, it's like, hey, I know I'm gonna make a serious album, but I want to have at least one party track. And this song was very successful. It went to #1 the Billboard charts. Production by Neptunes, but for me, even though it has all those things, and Ludacris is typical, personality just oozing through this track, and the Neptunes with production, Pharrell on the hook, it should have been better. And Ludacris has made way better songs than this. Stand Up, Roll Out, Southern Hospitality, just memorable. And this to me just feels kind of run of the mill Ludacris. So I'm going to put in the C category another Kanye track, Good Life, which won the Grammy Award back in 2008. And this was off his graduation album featuring T-Pain. And, really the song making use of his electro pop sampling, I think, Pretty Young Thing from Michael Jackson. I think it's a fine single. Kanye just boasting about, just being rich. There's really not much under the surface here. I think it's a fine pop song. I put it in the B category. It's a fun song, back when T-Pain was at his peak. Lil Wayne's Lollipop. Now, this song was Lil Wayne's first #1 single, one of the biggest songs to come out that year in 2008, and also featuring Static Major, who tragically passed away before the song hit #1. But Lil Wayne, like I said, this was his victory lap with the Carter 3, and Lollipop was the big single to roll out. But, as a Wayne fan, this was never really one of my favorite songs of his. And it just sounds dated today. I know that Lil Wayne, was trying to do the whole, we're going to, 50 did the candy shop, sex metaphor, so I'm going to do the same thing with a lollipop, and I'm going to lick you like a lollipop. It's like, all right, it's, and the electro pop kind of things that sounds like a cell phone, an early cell phone beeping. It was a different sound for Lil Wayne. He tried to go for that commercial sound, but for me, not one of my favorites from his. I like Lil Wayne on songs like 6 Foot, 7 Foot. I mean, A Milli came out the next song, and that was a way, way better track than Lollipop. Next song, Run This Town. Jay-Z featuring Kanye West and Rihanna. Now, this song came right after the Def Autotune single, but this was obviously the more successful track, peaking at #2. I think it was, for Jay-Z, kind of his comeback song, but Kanye, to me, had an incredible verse there. One of his underrated verses. What you think I rap for? To push a fucking rap for? Kanye. This is when Kanye was. I felt that he was really trying to go for the best rapper alive title, because his rapping vastly improved, and also he just released 808s and Heartbreak, so he wanted to prove to people that, hey, I can still rap. And Jay-Z, to me, it's a fine verse, but Kanye's verse is what everybody remembers. I think it's a fine song. Put in the B category only because Kanye's verse is really, really good here. Then we got the next song, which is another Jay-Z featuring a singer, Empire State of Mind, featuring Alicia Keys. And, look, I understand that for a lot of people, especially at the time, it's a New York anthem, and Jay-Z shouting out these New York landmarks, and, it was a post 9/11. This was a song that kind of was this generation's, New York. To me, this feels more Broadway than Brooklyn. And Alicia Keys, she kills it on the hook. She even did a solo version, which I found to be a lot better. With this record, this was his first #1 hit, and this album was very successful for him. The song was very successful for him. This song was an anthem for the city when they needed it. But for me, not a song that I go back to very much often. Not a period of Jay-Z that I go back to that often. So, alright, so next one, Kanye West, All the Lights. So this is his 4th win in this category. And yeah, I talked about this song in my Twisted Fantasy 10th anniversary review video, which is in the archives, so check that out. I think this is one of the best songs on the Fantasy album. And like I said, what I love about this song is that, you know, Kanye uses all these voices. You got Kid Cudi here, John Legend, Rihanna, Elton John, and it's a who's who of like singers and artists, old and new, and Kanye just puts it all together like an orchestra. It's become a song that's been very popular in, you know, HBCU marching band games. So even though there's dark lyrics, the production is very, you know, profound and bombastic and upbeat. I'm going to put it in the A category. So the next song, Niggas in Paris, Jay-Z and Kanye. This was off the Watch the Throne album. This was the most successful song off the Watch the Throne album. I actually thought that Niggas in Paris, you know, was kind of a sleeper hit because when the album came out, people weren't really talking about the song that much, but then it has gone to become one of the most quotable songs from the 2010s. I mean, there's so many memorable lines here, like that shit cray, you know, the Blades of Glory sample that starts off the thing, you know, what she order, fish fillet, ball so hard, don't let me get into my zone. I mean, there's so many quotables, and Jay-Z and Kanye just bring out the best in each other, trading verses, Kanye being, you know, Kanye, you know, just like, you know, really just them, you know, just celebrating the splendor and, you know, just being two guys at the peak of their powers in Paris, doing whatever they want. You know, I think A$AP Rocky's and Tyler the Creator, you know, their video in Paris with potato salad, it kind of reminded me of Niggas in Paris. It kind of was like a spiritual successor to that. I think both of them held it together well. I put in the B tier. To me, I think there were better songs off that album, but as far as a single goes, you know, I think it did great for both of their careers. All right, the next song, Thrift Shop by Macklemore. This was the song that pretty much put Macklemore in the mainstream. You know, this was his first #1 hit song. I love the production on this song. You know, just kind of like, you know, it didn't really sound like anything that was on the radio at the time. And of course, Macklemore talking about, you know, hey, why spend all this money on jewelry and, you know, cars when I could just buy stuff at a thrift shop? And as a thrifting guy myself, you know, I fully support that message. And yeah, just Macklemore just celebrating the frugal lifestyle. And a lot of people got behind it. You know, this was a very unique, funny song, and it's a cute song. You know, I think that it's one of those songs that it's harmless. And when you play in the club, you know, everybody's got to dance to it. I put it in the B category. Alright, so the next single is Kendrick Lamar's I, which won in this category in 2015. Now, this is the studio version of the song. You know, the kind of live version was released for the album, but the studio version was released, I think, 6 months prior to the live version. Anyways, regardless, you know, the song won the Grammy. Look, I think the Grammys were kind of making up for the fact that, you know, we screwed over Kendrick. Not to say that Macklemore's Heist was a bad album, as I mentioned in the last tier list video, but I think the Grammy knew that, you know, all right, next thing Kendrick releases, we gotta give him the Grammy. We gotta make sure we don't fuck it up. And I think that's what they did here. Now, I is a good song. I think it's a pretty good song, but the live version is so much better than this one. And I think, although I love the sample, Ozzy Brothers, Who's That Lady? Great song, check that out if you haven't heard it. But um, it doesn't. The studio version seems too polished, and if he were released this version, I think there's a reason why he didn't release his version of the album. I think, the live version is much more organic, much more intense, much more. It plays in better with the album. Is okay. I'm putting the B minus tier. Next song, another Kendrick song that was on that album, All Right, which won in the category in 2016. To me, one of the most important songs in the 2010s. Of course, Pharrell produced the song. Just incredibly poignant song. And the video is amazing. If you haven't checked that out, check that out. And saying that, hey, the black community has been through so much, and, regardless of all the troubles, all the trials, we're going to be all right. And, that's become a rallying cry. It's been a song that's meant a lot for many people. And even look at this year with what's going on in the world. The song hasn't lost any of its potency. I think this is one of Kendrick's best songs of his career. Alright, the next song, Hotline Bling. I don't know why this song won best rap song. Can somebody please tell me that? He doesn't rap in the song. Like, this is the type of stuff that the Grammys do that makes people mad, because it's like, what the fuck? Like, Drake is literally not rapping at the song at all, and it wins best rap song. And, to me, it's one of my least favorite Drake singles. I just think it's kind of a lazy attempt at crooning. Don't know why the song won in this category. Don't know how the song got popular. I mean, we know why it got popular. It's one of his worst singles. I think Drake has made way more catchier songs than this. A song like Nice for What blows the song out of the water. Alright, the next song, Kendrick Lamar's Humble. So this was kind of his lead single off of Damn. And, once again, Kendrick kind of switching lanes here. The song was produced by Mike Will Made It, and it's a trunk knocker, man. That you play this song and fucking knocks the bass out of your car. And Kendrick killed it. It was a different sound for him, but he killed it. He absolutely, this was a song that I'm gonna put in the A tier. It's catchy as hell, and it became his first number one hit single. There is a message behind it, and Kendrick basically saying, be humble, be appreciative of what you got. Alright, next song, Drake's God's Plan. While I think the production is, pretty good, I like the kind of watery, psychedelic production that this thing has, but some of Drake's lyrics here just do not do the song any favors. Sometimes I'm happy, sometimes I'm sad. It's like, dude, like, you can do better than that. God's Plan, winning best rap song. I don't know. It's one of those things where the Grammy is like, hey, Drake's a rapper, so even if it's not him rapping, we're just gonna put in the rap category, and we're just gonna win this award. And it's dumb. It's absolutely dumb. Like, why? I don't know why the Grammys do this. They associate. They don't look at the song and say, hey, let's put it in another category where it should be. Well, we're just gonna follow the artist, and if the artist is a rapper who happens to sing, well, we're just gonna put in the rap category anyways, and we're just gonna give him the award. No, it's bullshit, because it also, there's other people who are nominated in this category, and it takes the award away from them. And I just think it's stupid. So, God's Plan, I like the instrumental, but like I said, not one of Drake's best hit singles. 21 Savage featuring J. Cole's A Lot. To me, this is one of 21 Savage's best songs and my personal favorite 21 Savage song. And I think the song has kind of taken a new life because it was released before he dealt with the ICE stuff, or maybe it was during, but I think it was before the public knew about it, and it's kind of taken on a new meaning. Really, this was the song that kind of, because I was never really a fan of 21 Savage. I think that his delivery, that monotonous delivery works on some songs, but it doesn't. I mean, if you're having a party song with 21 Savage is in it, I just feel like he's that guy who just like kills the mood at the parties. But I think when you use him in the right song, it can work out really well for him. Very different type of sound. Wasn't like the usual trap flavored songs that 21 Savage was a part of, but very vintage, smooth, soulful sound. And J. Cole coming on it, he puts on a great verse. But J. Cole's always gonna do a great verse. This was a period in his life where he was going through a lot of stuff with the ICE and just doing all this bullshit, and the sadness of this song, I think, is enhanced by his delivery. And it really, the song, I think, is a beautiful song. I'm gonna put in the A tier. In the video, if you haven't seen the video, which I'm sure a lot of you have, the video is amazing. And yeah, that's gonna be it for my best rap song Grammy winners tier list. I'm gonna be coming back with another tier list pretty soon. Tell me in the comment section what do you think about this tier list. What would you put in your personal tier list? What are some of your favorite songs to have won in this best rap song category? YouTube recommends these 2 other videos after checking out this one. Until next time, peace.